One. So today's video in the near future, or maybe hopefully in the further future, for when things become difficult. So, um, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be starting research in the fall of 2017 at the Taga Lab, and I just wanted to talk briefly on the amount of mentorship or the amount of time that the people put in. Um, so my, I guess my uh, grad student in the future is going to be Gordon. Gordon, you just saw was in the middle of the picture here. Let's see if he pops up. And he's right here. So for any type of mentorship in the sciences, the people who are teaching, the people who are giving you the time of their day, um, I feel like there's not enough, or there's not a really good way to thank them outside of just doing the best that you can for them. And motivation in the sciences, I mean, like, research is could be a monotonous thing when you're like pipetting the same thing over and over, you're plating bacteria, like swabbing, and it can be easy to just lose motivation overall, or to lose energy. But what we're really doing is just really good science, and I'm excited that I get to be a part of that community, a community where we're constantly scrutinizing our results and trying to to find the unadulterated truth. And I'm just excited to share my research with you all. Excited to be a part of this, and really, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what a research website should look like. Although this is not going to be the same format or layout as other research labs have, this will give you a general good idea. So start off with so I went on Google, I typed in the Taga lab, and Professor Taga here is the PI of the lab, and she's the principal investigator, which means she's like the head of what all the research is going to be done. She makes like the final decisions because this is her lab. So usually when you come to a lab website, you look here, and this tells you what the lab's looking at. If you're looking for research right now, this will give you the fast general. If this was like a paper, this would be like the abstract. This tells you what they're doing. And it tells you here, our major research focus is vitamin B12 family of molecules, and the nutrients are synthesized only by fracture bacteria, and how the communities interact. So essentially, you read here, and you would see what the lab does, and if you're interested, you could reach out to the lab, and usually you can email them. But what I found is establishing a connection with people that you already know, people that you've already had contact with, is a lot easier than just cold emailing. Although that's certainly a way that you can like reach out to people too. But the problem is that when PIs take people into the lab, um, it just takes a lot of time to train a single personnel in the lab. And what that means is that a lot of people who don't go out of their way to look for labs, or don't go out of their way to demonstrate their interest, really don't have the opportunity to do research, or at least in my opinion, maybe it was just a little more difficult. But for whatever reason, um, it can be daunting sometimes to look for research, and it's perfectly fine to accept that that's a daunting process. Personally, for me, I met Professor Taga in MCB 148, which was the class that she taught, and she really went out of her way when I went to go ask her questions to like recommend me to other sources. So, for example, she recommended that I go to a talk on how microbial communities are built in cheese rinds, and like just different talks that she thought I would be interested in. So, like right over here, I have my name tag from the microbiology student symposium, where I went and I listened to her her teacher before, Bonnie Bassler at Princeton, talk about how bacteria work in quorum sensing, which is like when there's a whole bunch of bacteria, and how the bacteria really talk to each other. So like going out of my way to talk to her, and it was an enlightening experience, because I didn't have any experience with research, nothing from high school, nothing in undergrad. So it was really eye opening, and like she just gave me the time of her day. She just like talked, and then she was willing to help me out, and that's how I'm excited to work in her lab and put my best foot forward this upcoming fall. So, in case you're interested in applying for lab, usually what you do is you'd go to the publications, and this is for cold emailing. I mean, I was reading the papers too, and I've been trying to read the papers. But obviously, lots of these papers are going to be pretty dense. Like, if you can't understand them, that's like perfectly okay. You just do your best, and I recommend reading the most recent papers. Um, Reading the most recent papers first, because those are most applicable to what the lab's working on at the time. Oh, this one was a little bit difficult. This was a review of bacteria, but let's see if we can pull up another one. Yeah, so then like something like this from NCBI would pop up, and then what I recommend is looking at the pictures. The pictures really help out a lot because like just looking at here, you can see like a chemical structure is being changed by presumably what is some enzyme and substrate. So the substrate here, like you can just get a general idea, but um, what a lot of the specifics really go over your head if you're not actually actively working in the field, and that's something that I'm just coming to learn all the time. Um, yeah, so things that I am looking forward to from the upcoming week ahead, or I guess on the 19th, so that'd be in a little bit more than a week, is a QB3 boot camp. And this was a boot camp that was put out by Berkeley, and some of I believe the postdocs, the grad students, and some of the PIs. And they're going to be hosting a whole bunch of undergrads, I'm assuming, that don't have any research experience. That I was lucky enough to get a recommendation from Professor Tagafor, and I'll be learning some molecular cloning techniques. Um, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that because, like I said, there was not a lot of opportunities out there, or there may be more opportunities for the students who are excelling and doing really well in your courses, but for students that really just have an interest in doing solid research but aren't like stellar academics, speaking from my own experience, I'm just really glad, I really want to put in my 110% for when the fall comes up. But as you all know, I'm studying for the MCAT right now. And yeah, it's definitely daunting. I mean, I'm excited for this upcoming fall, and I'll let you all know how it goes in the near future. All right, so thanks for listening, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.